Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm not in the middle of the garden today because as you can see the sun is out. It is gonna rain later on today, but I came out here to check on my zucchini plant, y'all, and I am loving the way they are looking. So I wanted to do a quick video. For those of you who've never grown zucchini like myself, it's my first time growing zucchini, but I don't know. I just love how it's looking so far. It is growing. So hopefully it continues to grow. It continues to thrive and we can get zucchini this season. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video on how to grow zucchini. By the way, this is the variety that I'm growing. I got this in a packet. It was in a packet of, I think like 15 or 20 seeds. So this was the packet that was in there. And if you are growing in containers like I am, you want to make sure, oh, by the way, this is the dark green variety. Dark green variety. So if you are growing in containers, you want to make sure that you get the bush kind or the compact kind, not the ones that vine because they get really big, right? And this is semi bush. It's not as compact or as small, but it is smaller than the vining ones. So it'll do for the container that I'm growing it in. But yeah, if you are growing in containers like I am, get ones that are bush or compact because you're limited with space. But I started my zucchini plants. I just direct sow them. Let me show you the container and then we can talk about it. Okay, so these are my zucchini plants. So I have it in this container. In this container, I was originally going to just grow one zucchini plant. It was going to be in just this container, but I sowed 4 seeds. 3 of them germinated. I thinned one and then I transferred the one that was in here. I transferred it to that container. I was saving one of these containers to grow eggplant, but I think because I have 2 zucchini plants, I'm going to have to move that eggplant somewhere else. But yeah, this is how my zucchini is looking, y'all. I planted those on May 21st. Today is June 14th, so almost a month ago. And this is how big it's gotten so far. And like I said, you want to get one that is compact or bush variety, because the minimum size container per plant, I would recommend 15 gallons. This one is an 18-gallon container. Now, the spot that I have them in is great because they get full sun, at least 6 to 8 hours of full sun daily. So when you're growing them, you want to pick a sunny spot in your garden. Now, the way that I prepared my container, originally I had cabbages growing in these containers, as you've seen from my previous videos. So after I harvested the cabbages, I removed some of the soil and I added fresh organic potting mix. I also added some perlite, I added some compost, and I mixed in some organic fertilizer. So I first added bone meal. I added a lot of bone meal, y'all. I don't know if that's the reason why they're growing, but I added bone meal. And then I also added the 444 all-purpose organic fertilizer. And then I added a little bit of eggshell powder. So this is how I prepared or amended my soil. And then I just direct sowed the seeds. I sowed about 4 seeds in this container. And then when they germinated, I transferred one of the seedlings into that container. So I'm glad to see that they are looking well. Something is eating my zucchini plant. Look at that. Look at the leaf, y'all. Something has already been chewing it up. This is crazy. But anyways, you can direct sow them or you can start them inside. I just chose to direct sow them because at the time it was raining a lot. So I figured the rain would speed up the germination process. And you want to fertilize as they grow. So you can use the balanced fertilizer every few weeks until they start to flower. And then once they start to flower, you want to switch to a fertilizer that's higher in phosphorus and potassium for fruiting. Okay. And then once they start producing fruit, you want to harvest often. You want to pick them when they're about 6 to 8 inches long for the best flavor and texture. And then you want to harvest frequently because that's going to encourage more growth. So yeah, that is pretty much it with the zucchini. I think zucchini, I don't know, I would consider it to be beginner friendly because they're looking good. They're looking good so far. So I hope to get a whole bunch of zucchini this season. I really am. I'm so excited. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see how the zucchini is looking. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to check out my previous video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.